Okay, here's your jumpers run from July 4th. And a little bobble there, and she took a bar. Sort of center to the weaves there. That was nice. Okay. So, I don't know. Oh, it's so hard to see you here. I don't know if you can do a longer lead out, but you kind of needed a longer lead out here. Because if I remember right, this was, let's see, 3 single jumps and then a triple, so, and they're pretty much in a straight line. And let's see where you released her. Looks like you released her just past jump 1. So I think you needed to do a longer lead out, because here she gets ahead of you. Now she's really ahead of you, and you were starting to curve. So here she's pretty ahead of you, and when they're that far ahead, they're going to naturally, you know, curl into you anyways, and there is a tunnel there. But you also here, I can see you're already curving your path this way. So those two things caused her to sort of come in and then have to come back out and take this triple. Let me just back it up so we can watch it. So she kind of curls in and you redirect her, but then she takes a bar. And it's probably just because she wasn't fully, you know, ready for that. And she skipped a pole there. And I don't know if you know that she skipped a pole, but with a dog like her, if she misses the weaves, I would absolutely take her back and make her redo it. You're not going to demotivate her by doing that. And she's young, and you know, she just has to learn, but it'll help her figure it out, because she, you know, back here you sort of made her veer and take this double kind of at a funny angle, so she took a bar. And then she had to still collect for the weaves, and she just didn't collect for the weaves very well, and that's why she missed a pole. But this is a challenge, right? This long straight line of jumps followed by a spread and into the weaves. I mean, that's a challenge for the dogs. They have to collect for that. So I would definitely make her go back and do those weaves. Even if you made a mistake. I mean, just because of how she is, you know, I wouldn't worry about demotivating her. I wouldn't tell everybody to do that. So, but for her, I would. Okay, so now this part, you send her into the tunnel. You wait for her. Look, you're waiting, you're waiting, you're waiting. You can see where she is. You can see the tunnel moving. You're still waiting. Now you're moving as soon as she comes out. And then you want to do this blind cross. If you want to do that blind cross there, I think it's fine. But, well, let's look at what your motion and shoulders cued her to do first of all. So here we are. Okay, you can see she's lifting off for this jump. And look at you. Your motion is forward. Your shoulders are forward. Your inside arm is up, which means forward. Okay, everything about you is forward. And what is forward? The weaves. So that's exactly where she went. So if you wanted to do this blind, when she goes into the tunnel, get up to this jump. Okay, she's going to come out the other end of the tunnel. You don't need to wait for her. So what she wants to, you know, what would be, if you want to do the blind, you need to be up at this jump when she's coming out of the tunnel. And then when she's where she is now, you need to be at this jump switching arms and doing your turn right here, okay? Or even if you were up here, when she is where she is now, and switching sides, it would still be fine because she's still going to take several strides, 2 strides before she takes off. So she has to know a stride before she takes off where she's going, because once she goes to lift off, she can't do anything about her jumping effort, which is what happened here. So here she's lifting off, you're cueing the weave pulls, basically, and you're, in addition to everything being forward, you're passing the plane of this jump. So you're basically cueing the weave pulls. So that's kind of where she heads. Okay, and this part was fine. This part was, it was okay, but I think it could have been better. And the reason I say that is, with this dog, you should never be doing that. You're almost stopped and waiting for this dog. And you don't have the time with this dog to be stopped and waiting for her. So, and then, let's look a little farther down the line. So now you're barely moving, and then you get going, and now here you have to really decelerate and cut behind her really sharp to get this rear in. So, I think what could have been better is, when she's in the tunnel, take advantage of that long tunnel and get up to this jump. Get up to the stanchion of this jump. See how you're pretty, it's kind of hard to see, but you're kind of far, you're not that close to that jump. So when she comes, if you're right at this stanchion, when she comes out, you could have your arm up, and she will, without a doubt, take that jump. And then when you see her come out, you can start coming this way to cue the next jump. And then it would allow you to do a blind cross between these 2 jumps. It would allow you to do a blind right here instead of slowing down and cutting behind her really sharp. And the reason I don't like the kind of rear cross that you did there, how you come up, you slow down, you even pull this way a little bit, and then you cut behind her. She reads it great, but you should reserve that type of rear cross for when you need a really tight turn. But this, oops, sorry, this is the next jump. Okay, so it's not a tight turn at all. It's actually a really wide turn to that next jump. So you should reserve this deceleration and that quick cut behind with that sort of dramatic lateral movement on your part for a tighter cross. So that's why I don't like that rear cross. A rear cross here should have been, you would have gone into this pocket right here where she is approaching that jump right now, so you're more even with her, so you're not ahead of her. And then you would, when she's about here, you would be sending her to that jump, but you would be back where she is. And then your motion on the rear cross would be a lot more shallow, like that. And it would give her a wider turn. It would still cue a turn, but it would be a little bit wider. So I hope that makes sense. And the rest of it was fine, of course.